I'm here with Winnipeg hip hop artist Dag, talking about his debut single.
Daggy style.
Look at this beautiful album.
Thanks to Twig for that dope artwork.
Look at this. I'm just gonna flip it open and just show this thing off.
Look at all the wonders.
It's gorgeous.
See the 40 ounce there?
I know. Well,
It says Daggy style. It says poetry in motion. All beats made by poetry in motion.
well, you're just going really fast, but we're gonna slow it down,
Sorry?
and we're gonna talk about how you got to this point in your career.
Okay, well, after years of just kind of like putting out random songs here and there, working with just our local artists from Thompson, I came to the city one summer and I had a song ready for White Rhino, and that's called Summer Funk, number 5 on the album with Gary Gatch. And I just had all these beats kind of ready to go that me and KP made, and they all just kind of fell into place, and they kind of formed this little album called Daggy Style, which is actually stylized from Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. That's why you hear a lot of funk and stuff throughout the album. So definitely.
Very exciting.
Oh, definitely.
So you kind of touched on it. You work with a ton of artists throughout this.
Oh, tons. I got
CD.
local artists on there for sure, like from K.204, Bola, White Rhino, Tech Pro, Dresden, Scripted Keepa. I work with my homies Afix, Babylon, KP on the beats, Conviction. I also got Olu from the States. He's actually pretty well known out there. And Mocha Only is probably my favorite collaboration on there. It was awesome. I just actually opened up for him in I think May, I believe it was, or July. I can't remember the date, but it was a good show. You guys were actually
We were there. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was actually sweet. That was one of the highlights of my my endeavor here, whatever I'm doing in this little rap game thing.
Living check to check, feeling stressed, I could really use some SES. Get rejected, I go out, try to pick up chicks, then instead spend my rent, correct, and forget, up to my nephew debt. Living check to check, feeling stressed, I could really use some SES.
So then you worked with a ton of artists. Can you talk about some of the things you learned during these collaborations with these other people?
I kind of just learned to kind of be myself and not think too much of what's going on, because before I would be very critical of how I recorded it, and I wanted to make sure it was a certain way. Yeah. But once I started to just kind of open up and just let it go, it turned into something fun and not so strategic and pre-planned. It's just a good feeling, good time.
It was organic.
Yes, exactly. It was kind of more organic instead of premeditated. But.
So then I know this is probably hard. What's your favorite song?
Favorite song on the album? Favorite song to perform live is probably Broke Rapper with Conviction, just because it's just such a good song and the struggle is real. The life of a broke rapper ain't easy.
Life of a broke rapper.
Yeah, and then my favorites, actually it's called Low Funds, No Fun Part 2. And Part 1 is on Conviction's album, Normal People. But it's called Broke Rapper on there. It was a quick change last minute. And then my favorite song probably altogether is either number 1, Let Go, or number 3, The Climb, just because they're the most personal. I talk about women in my life. So
good and bad, right?
Yeah, good and bad. Mostly good, those two. The bad song about women would be number 8, just because I talk about my ex.
So I'll avoid number 8 when I'm driving.
Yeah. Well, no, if you want to get hyped up and beat someone up, it might be the song.
Sounds like my jam.
Well, she smashed all my shit, so
yeah. Not our jam, but a fun song.
Not very good ex. I won't say her name on camera.
So what was the hardest part? Making this album.
Hardest part making the album was probably recording it, because at the time I lived in Thompson still. I'm recently new to Winnipeg, so just having to plan getting here and getting everyone to the studio, because I wanted everyone there so I can kind of have my say in their parts. So that was probably the hardest thing, was orchestrating everyone to be at the studio when I needed them to be there. There was actually a couple people I had to cut from the album because they didn't show up to the studio, and that's just all on them. So you know who you are.
So let's talk about Poetry in Motion and how their impact on this album.
See, if there wasn't Poetry in Motion, there would be no album, straight up. I met KP back in 2008. Well, I've known him my whole life just because Thompson's a small town, so you know everyone pretty much. But I didn't really start talking to him until about 2008 or 9. I was actually living here at the time, and he's like, hey, I got a place for rent. We were sending each other files back and forth, sending samples to each other and making beats over the internet. And he's like, I got a place for rent if you want to move back to Thompson. I wasn't having a good time here, so I came back, and then we went through a couple names, we made a couple songs, and then Poetry in Motion was formed, and it started off with just me and him making beats in our basement, drinking some beers, smoking some buds, you know. And yeah, and then like slowly over time, we started just finding out all these other local artists that like we didn't really know about through our town, like Babylon and Blast. And then I met this dude on the street named Afix, and he just kind of moved in and started like rapping. It was like his first introduction to rap.
Yeah.
So
And it was good.
yeah, and then and he was good, like, cause like he has no musical talent or background at all, but like just like from watching us, like, and being our cameraman for a while, he just kind of like, he's like, I want to do that, right?
Yeah.
So then
I got words.
we taught him the ways, and now he's been in this for about a year now, and he's working on his debut album. I think it's called Stranded. I might be calling that wrong, so sorry, Afix.
So we'll
Yeah,
get
and then-
him to double check that with.
And then recently we recruited our homie Conviction into our crew. He's just a guy that we talked to lots. We sent ideas back and forth. We just kind of invited him into the crew.
I'm homeless, shove my dick in her mouth. No more shaking it out. I wanna go an RF, no more clicking my mouse. So low the chest to feel, sit on the couch. Wanna give her chest to feel, but we'll kick her for now. I laugh and what I say, how I carry myself. Goofy, crudely animated, like sticking around. Pass the herb, she do a pops. Pass the back, doesn't cough, knows what you do.
It started off with just me and Bruce. Oh, sorry, KP. It slips once in a while. Me and KP, just as like a rap duo, and we still are a rap duo, but like it turned more into a collective. Like there's Poetry in Motion, me and KP, and there's Poetry in Motion, like let's say Records, which
Yeah.
is like all the guys together.
How many people are involved?
7.
Wow.
Cause yeah, there's me, KP, Afix, Babylon, Blast, Conviction, and Ralph Alpha. He's like our beat maker
Yeah.
who also makes beats. But he's not on this album per se, but he makes like at least 70% of our beats.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Like,
And everything's original, right?
A lot of samples, but we make all of our beats ourselves. Yes.
Yeah.
For the Poetry in Motion records, like me and KP, that's all us on the piano. There's no samples, right? So we play everything ourselves. We play all the instruments. For more of my solo stuff and for the stuff I make for the homies, it's kind of sampled. Like they do get some of our beats that we write, but the ones that we sample are a little bit more mainstream and poppy. So those are the ones that we like to distribute to our friends, just because they'll get more airplay per se. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they'll be trendy.
Exactly.
They're
you know.
safe.
But we still love making our own music. Like.
Okay, so just because you talked about playing the piano, can you talk about what kind of technical training you possess?
Well, I was in choir all throughout high school, so I can sing, but you won't ever hear me sing, like unless you somehow find the tape of me in the musical Grease, which I hope never surfaces.
Who's got it?
Yeah.
We need it.
But yeah, other than that, I took music theory in high school as well, so I know how to like transpose piano notes to like the bass and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it helps when you're making music and you're sampling. If you could actually find the tabs of the song you're sampling, then I can add my own instruments to it.
So you can just make it more complex
Exactly.
and interesting and
Exactly.
interesting.
Like I come from playing like metal bands and punk bands. So I play bass originally. So it's weird how I came from metal to hip hop, because I used to be the guy that said like crap is rap back in the day, right? So sorry.
And now you're just
But
like,
now I'm
"What's
all about it.
up?"
Now I'm all about it. Like I can't get enough of it. Like
Making
I
beats.
eat, sleep, and
Make beats.
and crap rap. I was gonna say the other one, but I don't know if we can swear.
No, I think people got the gist.
Yeah.
Yo, say Dag too, please. This song's called Dag Style. It's on my new album dropping in August. Woo, woo, woo. Yo. I got a huge family, it's complicated. I got 2 cousins that are best friends that ain't related. My dad's got 12 kids with 9 moms. I don't make kids, I write songs. I'm different and persistent. Take to say I'm haywire. You think I wasn't dragging the weight at Spray Bar? All about the giggity, call me Dagmine. I ain't looking for a family guy. All my exes drink sweats on Canada Dry. Never had a sip, I demand that you lie. When you don't like it, then what you lie. It's downright delicious. Legit, this is vicious. Rats ferocious, I'm super califragilistic, when I smoke slips, just don't spoken. Work for a cause, not for applause. I like to express, not to make sure my damage is felt.
Someone wants to get a copy of this, where can they find it?
You can get Daggy Style on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Tidal. I think I already said that.
Hard copies?
Hard copies you got to get from me personally at our shows.
Okay.
Message me on Facebook. I can deliver it. If you're out of town, we could talk about how I can send it to you.
Mail it.
Mail it to you, yeah.
No postal strike, so you'll get it.
There you go, yeah, exactly.
So then, what's next? You drop the album. Is there a tour in the future?
I would like to do a tour, but right now money's a little tight because it's the life of a broke rapper. You know what I mean? So I got a couple performances lined up.
Nice.
Me and Conviction are performing at the Cut Connects Hip Hop Awards, September 10th and 11th in Edmonton.
That's exciting.
Exactly, pretty pumped for that. We're also nominated for Mixtape of the Year for our Best Buds project, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I got another performance September 22nd at 441 Main.
Mint.
It's so sweet. I'm pretty pumped. I actually performed there a little while ago, and I really like the venue. It's like Night at the Roxbury because like it's outside, inside,
It's
and that
beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. That's I roll with that. So
Well, I'm so proud of you and excited to see what you have in store for us.
awesome. Thank you.
Get rejected when I go out, try to pick up chicks, get rejected, and forget.